Before we get onto the football side of things, I don't know whether you've seen this morning, there's been some more games called off, in particular Leicester versus Tottenham, and I've also seen Accrington Stanley versus Sheffield Wednesday called off as well. From a player's perspective, with everything that's going on at the moment, what's your take on the whole situation?
Obviously, for me, it's kind of different at all clubs. It's individual circumstances and club circumstances. I suppose if there's that many players where you can't feel the strong enough team to compete at the level, then forfeiting maybe, or not forfeiting, postponing may be the best option for it. Fortunate enough at the moment for us at Tranmere, we all seem to be fine and okay and ready to play. So, you know, as long as that's okay for the teams respectively, then I think we're good to go.
For a lot of people, they may be putting football on the back burner at the moment, but can it be a bit difficult to prepare for games when you do hear about games at all levels getting called off at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's the unexpected, isn't it? So, you know, you one day you're coming in, and the next there's a positive test, and then there's a positive test after that, and it starts to add up. So, yeah, in a sense, for clubs that are going through that, but for us, we're just preparing normally game by game and taking it day by day, and you know, getting through it, sticking to as many protocols as we can, and using the safety measures in place to keep us safe.
Let's focus on the pitch, shall we? How much are you enjoying being back at Tranmere after that loan spell at Chester?
Yeah, no, I'm buzzing. It's what my aim was. It's obviously to go out on loan, play some games, get experience at first team level, albeit a different type of standard, and you know you can't dismiss that. And I've got to take what I've learned there back to Tranmere, and that's what I'm trying to do game by game and trying to grow and impact as much as I can.
And just how beneficial do you feel that spell at Chester was?
Yeah, so lots have asked me this, to be fair. Obviously, there's pretty standard answers in terms of like me physicality, obviously match sharpness, match readiness, fitness. But I think just seeing the game in a different kind of light. Obviously, I've been watching Tranmere since I've been here, in the stands, whatever. But then going out to play and seeing the game from kind of like a on the pitch kind of level, it's completely different, and you see things that you don't necessarily see up in the stand. So no, I'm just trying to develop my game off what I'm seeing and learning off the senior lads.
And I asked Ross doing this kind of last week. I know it's different for you being a forward and him being a goalkeeper, but how much have you learned playing against men's teams as well?
Yeah, it's again, it goes back to like the senior lads. They've been around for 10, 15 years, some lads even more for others. And you know, the game's developing and changing every season. So to learn like the kind of tips and tricks that they've picked up along the way is very beneficial for me, because I can kind of take the relevant ones at the time and try and bring them into my game and adapt.
And I know Mickey, he sung your praises consistently, and I know as well when before they left Chester, Bernard Morley said, or he compared some of your game to Mo Salah as well. So how good does it feel to be getting that constant praise? I saw the smile on your face mentioning Salah there.
No, I thought you'd come on to that. Again, it's obviously it's for me playing for Chester and under Ben and John, who've obviously moved on. They kind of play me off the right as like an inside forward, if you like, which is kind of the role of not a winger but not a striker, somewhere in between, and you know, being adaptable to the game and running in behind and using what my strengths I believe are in my me running power and you know, just getting on the end of balls which get teams out of trouble. So you know, it's all good being compared to players and the like and how it is, but now at Tranmere I'm kind of playing a different role. So I'm playing as a two with Elliot, which you know is good for me. So again, I'm experiencing different scenarios and positions all the time, and for me as a young lad, it's only going to develop me further.
And you mentioned earlier there, you've stolen one of my questions, so I'll go on to it. You got the winner against Oldham, he got the winner against Exeter. You're both young lads trying to establish yourselves in the team, both Scousers as well. What's your relationship like with him on and off the pitch?
No, I love Elliot. He's a boss lad. I said it against post match against Oldham. got a very good relationship. I think obviously both kind of raw, young lads trying to impact ourselves in football, and although it's been different journeys, we're kind of similar, first kind of crack at league football. And yeah, no, I mean, we work well together in the previous 2 games, and obviously the relationship off the pitch with us both getting on well and on the pitch, both knowing what our strengths are and kind of bouncing off each other. Yeah, so no, hopefully that can continue, and if that means me supporting Elliot in a different way, and you know, if he's playing and I'm not, then you know, I'll always try and advise him, and same with the other lads.
It was really interesting hearing you talk there about your strengths and what you feel you can bring to the game. Against Exeter, you had to maybe show different strengths, and that you have to be patient because they had the majority of possession last weekend. How difficult can that be to remain so concentrated out of possession? How well do you think you did at that?
Yeah, you know, you go away from home, and Exeter were a very good team. We knew they were going to play kind of like clever free kicks, clever corners, whenever they just spot it and play. So yeah, no, you've always got to be alert, and that's it. It's 90 minutes. It's 11v11, and at the end of the day, you've got to win your own battle, haven't you? And whether that's in, out of possession, you've just got to stay focused. And obviously, it's hard for me. I'm tired at the end of every game, and it's because I try and give all when I'm on the pitch, and you know, you see lads coming on and they're doing the same job as what the lads who've come off have done. So we're well drilled and kind of sticking to the task, and you know, the end goal is to win games, and we'll do that by keeping clean sheets and scoring goals. And as you say, Elliot scored the other day. It's a good touch and a good finish, and luckily that's won us the game.
And there's Leyton Orient up next, and I was thinking to myself earlier, it's an interesting game for yourself because, of course, there was the FA Cup exit earlier this month to Leyton Orient, but that game, that performance, it played a part in Mickey Mellon bringing you back to the club because he wanted to give you a chance after that display, and you know, thinking about changing the team around. Yes, you've started both the league games since you've come back, but how big an opportunity do you see this game for yourself?
Yeah, it's just, again, it's another opportunity for me to try and prove myself if I'm selected by the manager, and if I'm appropriate to play, then you know, I'll whether it's my first game or my last, I'll always give 100% to it. And you know, I'm going to keep playing I'm going to keep trying to apply myself like I did against Oldham, as if it's me debut. And you know, as long as I do that and hopefully give 100% every game, it'll be enough. And going on to your point about obviously Leyton Orient, I didn't see much of the game, so I wouldn't have. You know, I was playing myself then, so I was obviously fortunate enough with a couple of injuries, and maybe the result had an impact on that. Maybe me coming back in. But as you say, you've just got to play every game and keep taking me chances like I did against Oldham.
And the last league game before Christmas as well. I know you've got the Harrogate game scheduled for midweek, but it'd be nice to get 3 points and enjoy Christmas Day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan every game, no matter when it is. But obviously, it'd make it a lot more sweet for the fans. Obviously, off the back of 2 good away wins, which have pushed us right up there. I think if we win our game in hand, we go to about 3rd or 4th in the league. So, you know, the automatic promotions are well in sight, and that's got to be the aim for us now.
Brilliant, Charlie. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Charlie, mate, how you doing?
Okay, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad. In the recent weeks, Mickey Mellon has said about how he's sort of trained Paul Glatzel to look over his shoulder. Is there anything specific that he's working with you on in training?
So yeah, it's for me personally. I'm always trying to develop all aspects of my game. Obviously, Pal's a unique player. I'm unique. Elliot's unique. Nicky is. All the strikers are different in the way we kind of play as that role. But yeah, no. Obviously, I've got weaknesses which I need to work on, and you know, I work with the staff every day, and you know, I'm just trying to in the sessions work on what I'm not so strong at, and obviously work on what I see as my strengths. So yeah, I'm always trying to develop my game, and I'm doing that by working with the staff. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned how unique all of the different forwards are in the squad. How important is that uniqueness to be able to sort of deal with different situations in different games?
Yeah, it's football, isn't it? So you don't know what's going to come at you. Different opposition may come for different formations, which leads to different personnel. And obviously, that at the moment the 4-4-2 has worked for us. but with different challenges, with different teams playing 3 at the back, 4 at the back, it does call for different kinds of attributes up front, and mine may be suited for one game, but for other games it maybe need more as a target man, so I may not play. But yeah, no, that's obviously up to the staff, and I'll keep applying myself every day to work on my weaknesses, so that hopefully one day I can be a good all-round number 9.
You mentioned then as well that you didn't really see much of the FA Cup game against Leyton Orient. Is it possibly a better thing for you to sort of go in without having seen anything, so there's not anything that's sort of already a preconception in your mind?
Yeah, I suppose I like to see the opposition anyway, just to see what they do, and obviously with the analysis and stuff, it's obviously good to get an insight into what it is. But at the end of the day, if they put a team up which we haven't seen, we've got to adapt, and we can only be told what principles they may go off. So yeah, every game's different, and we can prepare ourselves as best as we can. But on the day, as you say, with COVID cases and everything, the team could totally change. So yeah, no, it's obviously good to go and kind of half not knowing what's going to happen, but then also to have in the back of your mind what principles they play to.
Yeah, and just one more is you've come back from Chester on loan, but what kind of involvement did you have in the squad before then, and were you already integrated into the squad when you came back?
So I've obviously signed last January, and I've been around the building for the whole time I've been here. It's never been nothing other than that. I just had to bide my time, obviously, with the change of managers, and trying to set myself from under-23s football into men's football. And at the time, it was right that when I spoke to the gaffer that I needed to go on loan to gain some experience. It was never to be like push me away. It was always with the intention to come back, and the gaffer has stuck to his word there. And he told me that I needed to go away. I needed to be a league player playing in that league, and I've tried to do that, and I've come back. He's given me the opportunity, which I may not have got if results, or if I didn't go out and apply myself the way I did. And yet now, as you say, it's just time I've got to kick on and keep trying to prove to myself that I'm good enough to play in the team.